Join Sean and Brad as they talk about sports and share a beer. From the east coast of Canada to the west coast of the United States. Over to you, boys.
Everybody, what's good with you guys? Beer Sports, Brad and Sean, special guest Reed. I don't know if he's a special guest anymore. He's just a friend of the show, right?
Yeah.
He's part of it. Back again. We're having a good time off. We thought we should get going, so here we are. Welcome. A lot of things to talk about. We're going to talk about, I'm sure, the NFL season and what's going on in that world. We're going to talk about our list of players who chased rings today. That'll be fun. Sean's got a infamous CFL rules, if they're real or not. We'll try that out. And
it's called How Canadian Are You?
Yeah, which we'll see.
It's a game I don't want to win.
Yeah, I might just throw those answers on purpose. Anyway, and then stand by for that, because Reed and I haven't talked with Sean for a while, and so it might be interesting. We're already in rare form. So, good morning, fellas.
Good morning.
Or good afternoon or evening, wherever you are.
It's 11, still morning.
Yeah. It's early morning for you there, eh, Brad?
Yeah, I've been out for a couple hours. So.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on East
I think
Coast.
I'm sweating. I'm sweating over here because I have no fan, and I'm wearing this ridiculous Buffalo Bills jersey.
Thank you for finally admitting that's ridiculous.
No, it's a great jersey. It's a great jersey.
Nope. Let the record show Sean said his jersey's ridiculous.
Sean,
I need some fan on.
Down here, it's 54 degrees.
Yeah,
it can't be warmer up there in Toronto.
It is, believe it or not.
Listen,
yeah,
Sean's at that time of his age where he's in menopause, and so he's having hot flashes.
Hot flashes.
It's 19 degrees here in Toronto.
Oh, fuck you! No one knows what that means.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me, 66 degrees. Unbelievable.
Yeah,
it's 66 degrees and you're sweating. Man.
Yeah, because it's warmer in here. They shut off the air conditioning. Just give me a second here.
You might have to call an ambulance.
Hold on. Who shut off the air conditioning? You don't control the air conditioning in your building?
No, because it's a building.
What? No, that's not how that works.
Yeah,
you can't
it is
control
the way
the
it
temperature
works.
in your own house?
Until a certain time, and then all of a sudden it's like, okay, now we switch from air conditioning to heating.
Can you open a window?
What?
Yeah, we have windows open.
So that's where your eyebrows went. They sweat off. Mystery solved. I'm the world's greatest detective.
Gosh. I was just like, I'm sitting here and I'm looking at myself on camera and I'm just sweating I'm like, holy smokes. Anyways, I was wearing my Toronto.
Speaking of sweating off, right? Let's give a shout out to our sponsors. Thanks to Flyers Brewery. We appreciate you fellas for always brewing the best beer on the island. Shout out to Bodega Brawl, the game that's coming. Go order it now. Get it ready for Christmas. It's going to be a hit. You'll love it with your kids. I'm undefeated in my house. I'm sure Sean's probably lost on his episode already, but, it's fine. He plays with himself, so who knows? And he plays the game by himself also. So
unbelievable.
Wow, you're in rare form.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you to Smooth My Balls. Remember, jump on to www.smoothmyballs/guysbeersports.com in order to get your 15% off on all your manscaping needs. As well, next weekend is FLA2's return to the cage in Moncton, New Brunswick. So good luck, boys. I'm sure you guys are all chomping at the bit to get that going. Really jealous of the people in New Brunswick being able to see some good fights over there. So just remember to check out www.fla.com in order to find out about how to get tickets and pay-per-view. All right, guys. I'm sweating here. Just to let you know, Toronto, Ontario has a huge Bills Mafia up here. Huge.
I agree. Look at it. We're looking at the size of the Mafia right now.
It's big and sweaty. Looks formidable.
So I was walking around downtown with my Bills shirt, and from the moment I left my home until I got back, it was Bills Mafia. We got a big game Sunday. I was like, holy smokes. I've wore my Toronto Maple Leaf stuff, my Blue Jay stuff. Nowhere near the reception that I did. It was the Bills. Thanks,
well,
Toronto.
Because football is the greatest game in the world, first of all. But
Absolutely.
second of all, can you
Probably is.
confirm or deny that that was the same shirt you're wearing today? That they were
No,
all
no,
wearing?
no. Yeah, I have another shirt. This is the jersey. I thought it was going to be
Oh.
cute. Put
Oh,
this
you just
jersey
have-
on.
You just
Yeah.
have two. You just have two Bills clothing items.
What if I do?
This is my nativity maybe. But did you know that Sean Connery's movie from 1996, The Rock, is actually like a modern day Bond movie for him?
I guess it would be.
You could say that.
That's the theory. is
I
that he's under-
always
he's-
thought it was
he's
more of
escaped
like a
from-
Jack Ryan, though.
Yeah, but it's him under an alias because he doesn't want to be captured.
That makes sense. So he was in prison. So this is
For
like
Bond.
years later for Bond.
Yep.
Well, in his
like
timeline.
20 years later, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it makes sense for his timeline when he was Bond.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Now I got to watch it again under a different viewpoint. I was like, I read it yesterday and was like, oh man, Twitter is giving me some real shit to talk about right now.
Occasionally, they're not out of their fucking minds.
Yep.
Yeah, but isn't he from Scotland? Well, no, because Bond was from Scotland, so that doesn't.
He is Bond.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
was the Bond of Bonds until Daniel Craig showed up.
I know. Yeah. Daniel
Even
Craig.
then, right? Yeah, Daniel Craig is like the LeBron of, or maybe the Kobe of Bonds.
Yeah, I mean Daniel Craig's he's still continuing just the Sean Connery Bond though.
Yes.
Very violent.
Yes, that's what
running
I'm
through
saying.
walls.
He's running because Sean Connery walked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's an extension of that.
He's not like a Roger Moore or a Timothy Dalton or that bitch ass Pierce Brosnan Bond.
Man.
He's I'm gonna murder everybody in my way.
Listen,
about
I don't
George
know this for a
Lazenby?
fact, but I feel like Harvey Weinstein made the Bond movies and Pierce Brosnan was caught in that scandal. But we should probably give Pierce Brosnan a hashtag, but we'll save that for another time.
He's British. It wouldn't stick.
What wouldn't stick? The hashtag.
And the hashtag none of that shit. It wouldn't fly over there. He wouldn't care.
That's just normal.
Yeah.
Man.
Hugh Grant was with a prostitute and shit. They have nudity in their newspapers.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Carey Price. That's some huge news. Him just before the regular season starts, admitting himself in the NHL assistance program.
Can you explain what the assistance program is? Because
Yeah. So it's to do with mental health, right?
I'm not sure everybody knows exactly what the assistance
Yeah.
program is.
So it's to do with mental health. I guess that he realized that he has some mental health issues and has put himself in there. Him and Jonathan Drouin at the same time. So, I mean, that's hard for Montreal, and it's hard when you hear that somebody that you thought, has ice running in his veins is really suffering internally and mentally. It's good that he's
being
doing
a
this.
goalie is like it's like being a pro golfer. It's like being a closing pitcher in baseball. You know what I mean? Like it's like being a fucking kicker. You have a lot of situations where all this stuff happens, and if you win, you don't really get the glory. If you lose, everybody looks at you, right?
Yeah.
Because it usually
Yeah,
comes
well,
down to
it's
that kick,
a
whatever.
bit like being a cornerback in football, right? Like
Yeah.
next play, whatever happened on that play is whatever, right? Next play you got to win. There's no,
That's got to be exhausting.
you can't be losing every player. You're not going to be, your win rate has to be in the 90%, or else you're not playing anymore. Like that's just the way.
That's actually really good. That's a really good analogy there. Really good comparison, actually, Brad.
But
Yeah,
no
like
one ever remembers like they always remember the Bobby Orr flying in that St. Louis Stanley Cup Finals, right? Like they don't remember Carey Price stoning somebody for 30 shots on 30 saves and 31 shots. Like
Right.
if that's his job, if he either does his
Right.
job or he doesn't do his job. There's no like, wow,
Yeah,
while you're
no
watching.
one
you're
remembers
like,
the
"Oh, shit,
stonewall Carey Price was last year against the Maple Leafs when they just destroyed them.
Yeah, none of it. It was like the Titanic, Toronto, and then Iceberg, Carey Price.
Iceberg Carey Price. But in all seriousness, I mean, I think it's brave of him to get there. I think it's, it takes a lot of commitment to show up and, and have a job to do and just say, hey, listen, I'm not right. I have to get right. I mean, I think that's a lesson for all of us. You can't help other people unless you've helped yourself already. If you're not right, you're not going to be the best version of yourself. And so,
Absolutely.
You'd rather see it now. You'd rather see it be this way than him trying to self-medicate or whatever else he thought the move was. And you know.
Well, that was the
I
biggest
applaud him
thing.
for it.
Yeah,
The
like that was the
NHL has
biggest thing.
such a bad history with substance abuse. We've lost
Yes.
an insane amount of young guys.
Yes.
You know, in and out of rehab. You know, it's crazy how many people you've lost in the NHL there specifically. You know.
Well, it's like
So.
what you were mentioning about Bob Probert there, right? And
Yeah.
like that's a sad
Shenanigans.
story. That's a sad
Terrible
story
story.
at the end of the day. You know.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of funny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's got
Because if
some-
you watch
it's got
Bob
some heart- it's got
Probert
some
play,
humor to it.
but it's fucking heartbreaking, you know, like a
Yeah.
lot of this shit is. But I just hope to God, you know, with riding off what Brad said, you know, the balls and the bravery it takes to go do that and getting out of the way, and you know, because it's not just for you, it's for the team, it's for the organization, it's for the city, right?
Right.
Get out of the way, let someone else be in there, because if you can't perform, I just hope that if anybody's supportive of Carey Price, they have that same energy with Simone Biles during the
I
Olympics.
totally agree.
To fucking get the fuck out of the way and take care of yourself and just raise your hand. And you know, that's not to say one thing or the other, but it's the same shit. And everyone just needs to get out over their bullshit, because we've seen too many situations, UFC, NFL, NBA, MLB, NHL, where guys that just shouldn't be there decide to go and put themselves out there, and it's not good. We just saw it with Nick Diaz,
Yeah.
right? He said straight up, he's like, I don't want to be fighting.
Well, yeah, and you know, going back to Miss Biles, you have a very, like she was saying, I'm not in this thing, I'm gonna get hurt, right?
Yeah.
And as soon as that's where you are, isn't it? I mean, in any step of life, right? As soon as you know you're not focused enough to defend yourself or handle yourself, like you gotta take a step away.
Yep.
People's
Yeah.
reactions to that is gross, you know.
It's disgusting every time, but you know, there's
But that's-
nothing cowardly about it. And you know, I take personal days like a motherfucker. You know,
Yep.
Yeah.
people, you got to do it. The bills will
And
be
that's-
there when you get back.
That's the thing though about it all, is that they're human beings as well, you know what I mean? It's not just a betting line, it's not just, you know, you're going to lose point spread on this because all of a sudden Carey Price is not playing, or all of a sudden they should be looked at.
If you're gambling on hockey, you have a bigger problem than Carey Price does.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You need to get help as well. There's
Man.
hotlines for that, but
Feels like that's a parlay with cricket involved.
All right, boys.
a sticky.
So I just wanted to point
good on
out.
Carey Price. Good on.
That's
John
also that was
Stewart.
also Sean's screen name on AOL.
Hey, I just wanted to point out that Brad is 0-4 in our little fantasy football league right now. I'm sorry, Brad.
But
Why are you
I don't
gloating
want to be
about
like
that?
David Stern or you know, Roger Goodell. Being the commissioner is a heavy shoulder to wear, and so I will again point out the fact, though, Sean, that I'm still outscoring you in total points for the year. So
That's
Okay,
matchups-
all right. I'll give you
matchups
that.
matter, but that's fine. Whatever. The matchup is fine.
It'll get right eventually.
Yeah.
Anyways, though, let's move off of that. It's probably a touchy subject for Brad. And plus, I have a robot team. Okay, I do have a robot team, just like you, Reed. So
You have a robot team too?
I do the poopy pants. Yeah.
It's not a robot team. He's making moves. You didn't just set it and forget it.
Isaac Asimov wrote the 3 rules of robot logic, and it's like can't hurt each other, can't hurt themselves, and can't hurt humans. Right? That's what my mind's following.
Yeah.
He only makes a move. Fucking Logan Thomas got hurt, had to make a move.
Yep.
You can't be fucking
Yeah.
trading and shit with him. Now I didn't know you had a robot
I
team. Now you
didn't
gotta
trade.
keep an eye
I'm
on
not trading with my team.
I'm
What-
just
what-
saying, I might see that. You see robot, and you're like, well, there's 6 robots. You can do other stuff with them. I don't want any of that shit going on. I'm an advocate for that robot. Make sure you're not doing anything harmful. Oh, now we need to keep an eye on this. You make
It's not
sure.
I'll tell you right now, it's not a
Off
set it and
connections.
forget it team. He's managing them both. He maybe doesn't make
What are you
any
talking
trades.
about? I just set the lineup. That's what I mean. Come on, it's a robot team. I didn't
You
pick
set the
any of the
lineup. You
players.
set the lineup weekly.
Yeah,
Basically.
I'm still
Reed
gonna
don't do
beat
that.
ya.
Reed just sets it and walks away, and he only makes a change if someone gets hurt. Otherwise,
that's not
gets
true.
hurt,
Reed
rides it
Reed puts a
no.
person up for points. There's no ifs, ands, or buts.
No, if someone's hurt, if I get a
Not his
questionable
robot
notification,
team.
I have to address it in the robot
Whatever.
team.
Well, we
Sean
have
Reed
sucks.
is a
Lowell
man
Sean
of
sucks is
principles.
the robot team.
Listen,
Lowell
Reed
Patterson-
came on this show in a button-up shirt and a sweater. You better respect that man's hustle.
I know. I'm looking at that man. He's like, look at this guy. He's looking good. He's looking good.
I'm killing it. This is peak performance right here.
I can't decide if he was playing the drums before he started or if that's afterwards, but I don't know what the cop
Both.
schedule is in
Both.
over there in Lowell. So
I'm gonna do this, and these are electronics. I can play all night.
Electronic drums. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, nice
I love
and
it. Yeah. All right.
But you know,
I see you got dartboard in there. That Sean's height too. That's good.
That's where he always throws them. He's like, "Ugh."
Exactly.
He's got those
Straight
heavy
down.
mitts.
Great. You're very generous, Reed. You're very
Oh,
generous.
my
Like
God.
Sean, the Aki's up that way. That's where you want to hit it. He's
Yeah.
like, "Arr, arr,
Hey,
arr."
before I keep going, I just got a new haircut. I don't know if you guys could realize that. Anyway, so
Is
I
that
just
like one
wanted
of
to give
those
a shout.
Mahomes Mohawks? Is that what
No,
they're
no,
called?
not even close to it. Not even close to it. I just wanted to give a shout out to 611 Purple Factory there. Kay,
Did they
thank
cut your
you.
eyebrows off?
No. They leave eyebrows on. Eyebrows are optional.
If you go
No,
back
they're
and watch
not.
if you go back and watch the tape, Reed, you're gonna find out you've been missing that boat for a while.
The thing is that like this is a stop it. You're gonna spill all over yourself. This is this is a barbershop that's owned by Raekwon from Wu-Tang.
Nice.
So
Hey, the chef.
The chef,
yes,
indeed.
yes.
Nice.
So did me up pretty good, except for the eyebrows. But that's
My
my
new
own
haircut.
problem. That's my own problem.
Yeah, just do just for men or something. You could draw them in like a chola.
All right. All right. That brings us to our conversation there. Besides Russell Wilson being down, which we could talk about in a bit, because I think Seattle's season's over. I do.
First of all,
Jesus
sales season was
Christ.
probably over to start with. Russell Wilson getting hurt is just an idea for them to get a free look at what life looks like without Russell Wilson. So, and they've got bigger fish to fry, which
Yeah.
is fixing that defense, namely.
Yeah.
So,
Is
if you're not ready
Schneider
move
going
on
to go
from
at some
coordinator
point?
after this, what's that?
Is Schneider going to go at some point? Like who's footing the bill for all the? Who's really going to feel the heat?
Pete Carroll's got to fill it because he's got to be riding the boat for Ken Norton, who just is running a scheme from 1993 that everyone knows.
Yep.
I still
can't-
say that Pete Carroll is the worst head coach. The worst. Winning a Super Bowl ring. And that's saying something because John Gruden won a Super Bowl ring. And I think he is terrible. Terrible.
You know who didn't win a Super Bowl ring? Marv
Sean.
Levy.
I mean, I don't know. Listen, Pete Carroll has his moments. He has his time. I think he's kind of got that Sean McVay energy, or Sean McVay has that Pete Carroll energy that I just don't like it. I don't like anything about it. They're cocky. There's this thing where like no matter what, I have a script and I'm going to stick to it. I'm not going to fucking. You know, Mike Tomlin has a bit of that in him as well, where you're just like, dude, read the fucking room, right? You know?
If Pete Carroll wasn't my coach, I'd be not a fan.
Yeah.
So I think he's tied to Ken Norton, and I think that might be his downfall. I think Schneider moves on. I think, we'll see how this offense goes the rest of the way out. But if it doesn't go well, it wouldn't be a surprise if they keep Russell Wilson and they move on from the coaching staff. And I did not feel that way last offseason. But
That's the thing I was looking at though is, does Pete Carroll get some kind of executive position with Seattle, or does he just?
I think he just
Does he
rides
retire?
off the sunset.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a talent issue, right? So I think Schneider's pretty safe on that deal. They have the talent to go.
Yeah, of course.
What's happened is the effort on defense is terrible, and I think that Ken Norton has lost that room. And I'm rarely a fan of in-season coaching changes, but
It was a coaching change you would have been comfortable with if they did it in five.
I was surprised that Schottenheimer was the assistant that got let go in the offseason instead of Ken Norton Jr., to be honest.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Yeah, but here's the
Schottenheimer,
thing.
you know,
No, go ahead, Brad.
Schottenheimer probably deserved. I mean, Schottenheimer deserved to go. I was campaigning for them, both the coordinators to be gone and just to start over. But especially when Dan Quinn broke free, out of Atlanta, that would have been let him come back home and run this defense. But
Oh, I agree with that.
that's not the way they decided to go, and now
Yeah.
we're seeing it. I mean, that's the thing is that historically in the Pete Carroll era, we don't lose at home, and now we're down 2 games at home. We had a 14-point lead in the fourth quarter of the opener and lost that game. Had a shot at the end of this game with a backup quarterback and couldn't get it done, and that just comes down to poor coaching. So,
yeah, I hate to say it, but no, I don't hate to say it. What are we talking about? Pete Carroll is responsible for your second Super Bowl, where you could have had a second Super Bowl win. Instead, you have a loss because it was all Pete Carroll.
Well, that Brandon Brown is responsible. Brandon Brown is responsible.
Which, yeah, in some regards, Pete Carroll was responsible for because he cut Brandon Browner in a way that allowed him to be angry. But yeah, Brandon Browner knew that route and he ran it. I mean, Jermaine Kearse is as responsible, if not more responsible, than Pete Carroll is.
You have the number one running back in the league.
Yeah, but
Sure, but he had gotten stoned 2 times before that, right? So that's the move. You try to catch him off guard because they had 8 guys in the box, right? Like if Jermaine Kearse runs his route there and Brandon Brown doesn't blow him up into the coverage, it's not a pick, it's an incomplete pass.
I don't know. It's just that look he had afterwards. Pete Carroll's look like a complete
it's not a good look. It's not a good look at all. The optics of it was terrible. Yeah. But like if you really think about a lot of this stuff, like again, I had buddies over the other night having cigars, and they were just like, "Oh, fucking Malcolm Butler won us." I'm like, Malcolm Butler had nothing to do with that. He just happened to be there, and the ball hit him.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like he had nothing to he had nothing to do. He didn't make a big play. None of that shit. He just happened to be there. He didn't fuck.
He didn't even read it. He didn't even read that play. That's the thing, right? Malcolm Butler's not the guy, but
Yeah, but the optics.
What would be fascinating to know, though? This is, it's a little bit off topic, but what do you think Malcolm Butler did to get pulled from the Super Bowl the following year? Or was it the following year, or was it 2 years later?
It was 2 years later.
It was 2 years later. Yeah, I don't know. Interesting. Yeah, he got pulled. He got yanked hard.
Probably woke up.
It was good because Philadelphia won.
Was that your third favorite team?
No, it's not at all. I just like it when teams have never won it wins one. It's like
I had no problem with the Philadelphia winning because Nick Foles.
Yeah,
Big Dick Nick. I love seeing that guy win. It's phenomenal.
Yeah,
especially when Carson Wentz was the main loser in that situation. It's like, shit, this guy can go out and. But again, I think Nick Foles threw 250 yards, something like that. Like just managed the shit out of the game.
Yep,
did everything right. Scored some touchdowns.
He read the Trent Dilfer playbook.
Yeah. Meanwhile, you got Brady on the other side of the ball through like 534 yards. You know what I mean? That's not necessarily how you win championships. Right. Nick Foles saw his opportunity, unlike Geno Smith on Thursday night.
Geno had it. He had that. I mean, he went 98 yards in that first drive, and I was like, "Here we go."
I didn't even know he was on Seattle.
Then they got the ball back.
He was 6 for 6, and I'm sitting there. I'm like,
yeah.
What? I don't think he's ever been 6 for 6 in his career.
Like, here we go. Let's get this thing like money out. That's an interception. And like I know
it wasn't his fault.
It was his fault. Listen, if you go back and watch it, he overthrew Tyler Lockett 5 yards to that side anyway. Tyler wasn't even going to be in that spot.
I can't blame him.
All right. Seattle, let's face it, Seattle, they got problems. All right, but on that note.
So does Buffalo.
Whatever. On that note, we're going to switch topics. Let's get into our players that have chased a ring.
Every player that's ever played any sport ever.
Oh, come on. That's like.
You're going to have to define this a little bit better.
Yeah. Players that
you
purposely.
Define it. I'll be right back.
All right. Players that purposely chased a ring. So that means the players that sat there, was on a losing team, just said, screw it, and then decided to jump ship. Like I wanted a list here for this. Brad has to go deal with something here. So I don't know. Did you want to start this? I could start this with my pick because I got a nice pick.
All right. So let's just do this. How many NHL players do you have?
I got 2.
Okay, so I have 2.
All right.
Do you want to hear my 2?
I'm going to start with 1. And if it's on yours.
If it's my guy, you know what I mean by my guy. If you're taking my guy for your number 1 NHL thing.
No, I'll go with mine, okay? So It's not your guy. I don't know who your guy is.
You know who my guy is. This is one of the most famous championship chases of all time.
All right, I'm not going to take him. I know exactly who you're talking about. So I'm going to take Raymond Bork, Mr. Raymond Bork.
That's my guy, you son of a bitch. What are
No,
you
it's
talking
not.
about?
Come on. I thought it was all right.
But where did he play?
You start
Where did
off.
he
You
play?
start off.
Where did he
Yeah,
play?
Boston.
No,
Boston. I
Yeah,
did
all
not
right.
know. I did not know that was your guy.
How
'cause I
did you
was
not
thinking to
know that
myself
was my guy?
because there was another one that's like even more infamous. Even more infamous than Ray Bork. I thought for sure that Ray Bork would have been a hero. You would never have looked at him like that.
No, he spent all this time, did everything right, broke all these records, did all this shit, never won a championship, and then he was like, "Oh, look at Colorado with it was an all-star team." How is that
okay.
not my? That's the most
All right.
obvious.
Because I thought to myself that you guys would have forgiven him for that. Because
I forgive nothing. And then he jumped union lines when they were doing the whole Hannaford's lockout thing there. The union was with the grocery baggers or some shit.
all right,
He crossed union lines.
I give it to
I love Ray
you.
Bork.
You got Raymond Bork.
No, ticket. I gotta hear this.
Well, I thought to myself, no, now I feel terrible.
Brad,
You got
Brad,
Raymond Bork.
You're gone for 5 minutes, Brad. And this is it turns. I told him I'm like, listen, I got my. Who wants to start? I got 2 NHL guys. You got 2 NHL guys. I'm like, if you're gonna take my guy, it's the most obvious one. He's like, no, I'm not gonna take your guy.
No, it's not the most obvious
Mr.
one.
Raymond Bork. It is the most. All right. So now I gotta hear your shit on this.
All right. So Ray Bork, I thought to myself, because he's low. He's low on my list. Because Boston also decided that, hey, he deserves a ring. Because we stink so bad. Let's get him to a team that he's going to win a ring on.
You're
I mean,
telling
the
me
guy
that
played-
a team gave up talent because they felt bad for him because he hadn't won a championship.
And he was old. He was old talent. He's also one of the only NHL players to play on one franchise for that long.
Yeah.
Am I right here, Reed, or what?
No, yeah, absolutely.
You're probably right about that.
He was very loyal for a very long time, but I don't think that has anything to do with the chasing a ring. I don't think chasing a ring has to be a bad thing necessarily, right? Like
Correct.
whether he was blessed from the fan base or not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he was just like, well, nothing doing here. I've put in my time with this organization. Plus, in
20
my opinion, for
seasons.
NHL, yeah. Plus, right? I think if you do 10 seasons with a team, you're a god in that city forever, right? Unless you
I'm
pull
surprised
some,
you even had him on your list. I
fucking
thought for
shit.
sure that Ray Bork is untouchable. That's why it took me by surprise.
Fucking one. I'll touch you, Ray. I'll touch you. No one's untouchable.
I'm sorry. I thought that was untouchable on yours.
I got it. You know, it was like I get it. But the problem I had with the whole situation was Colorado was so pornographically loaded with talent. It was fucked up that he went. It was so egregious because this team was so goddamn stacked. There wasn't a question if they were winning a championship or not. It's not like Ray Bork's like, oh yeah, I'm going to do something here. I'm going to bring it. It was so bad. It was so bad. It was like watching Sam Cassell in 2008 with the Celtics. You're just like, he's not bringing anything to this team. He's just sitting getting stretched out for 30 minutes a game on the sidelines. It's like, you're not bringing anything to that team. Ray Bork did good shit for them.
Oh man! Well,
So that's
no,
my
it's
problem.
true. I'm sorry, man. I did not realize that.
In 99, 2000, he played 14 games. He had 8 goals, 6 assists. Then he played 80 games in 2000, 2001, 7 goals, 52 assists. Right?
Yeah.
That didn't make a difference. Those are 14 points in 14 games, huge numbers, right? For a defenseman.
For a defense,
But that team was so fucking good, it didn't even matter. It wasn't even a drop in the bucket.
Yeah, it didn't move the needle.
That was the problem I had. It didn't even move the needle.
All
So
right,
that's why
all right,
it's so
Reed,
egregious.
I
That's why
apologize,
he's my
man.
number one.
I apologize. You go.
Okay.
You go now with your pick here, Reed.
So this is also Bruins.
Okay.
It's the reverse. It's
Okay.
someone that came to the Bruins.
Okay.
Similar situation. He was very loyal to the same organization for a very long period of time, and that is Mr. Let me make sure I pull up his full name here because it's a long one. Bear with me, boys. I'm gonna have to hit Wikipedia for this one.
That's a long name.
It's a wildly long name. All right, this is Jerome Arthur Lee Adakun Lee Tig Jr. Elvis Aginla.
Oh, Jerome McGinley. Okay.
That's his real fucking name. There's a hyphen there in between the second two names, Arthur Lee.
It feels like his
Tig
dad
Jr.,
lost
Elvis
a
Aginla.
bet. Is what it feels like to me.
Feels like he's Nigerian. Nigerians are like Mexicans. They just keep tacking on names.
Well, he was. Yeah, his
Yeah.
father was from Nigeria. You're absolutely correct. Yeah. But he was a what's your okay? Go for it. I want to hear about because he went everywhere. He became a journeyman at the end of Calgary.
There was again. We're talking at a situation 2012, 2013 for the Bruins, right?
Yeah,
That was a heavy cup contender. In a lot of people's eyes, that was the favorite to win the cup that season. Yeah. That's where he went. Again, he didn't have terrible numbers or anything like that. He had a 30-goal season as he's good as he's known for. But of all the places he could have gone, this is my example of someone who did it right. Right? He showed up where he could make a difference and make the team into a real cup contender there. Right? It's the exact opposite of Raymond Bourque, where I think that was egregious going to Colorado because again. It's just like you're just getting on a fucking Ferrari.
That was your captain for 20 seasons.
He can eat
what in the world?
He can eat a dick after that move. It was so gross. Right? There was other teams that he could have pushed teams over, but he didn't do that. Jerome McGinley is my example of someone who did it right. Right? He nothing doing in Calgary. He did his time in Calgary. Again, every season, like what do you have? 14 or 15 straight years, 30 goals plus.
Yeah,
Mr. fucking reliable. Money in the bank, no scandals, nothing. Went to Boston. Went to Pittsburgh first, then went to Boston. Real shot at winning a championship. Didn't do it. But this is where it gets gross with Joe McGinley. It was Pittsburgh, then Boston, then Colorado, then LA in 2016, 2017. So it was not like he saw one opportunity like Ray Bourque was like, I'm going to go to this sure thing, win my cup, and then hang him up. He's just like, well, I'm going to go chase this some more. If he stuck with Pittsburgh, if he stuck with Boston, I think it would have been a little bit better. He got caught in Colorado, but I think he overall did it the best out of any professional athlete I've ever seen chase a ring, MLB excluded, because the history is too long and vast.
Unbelievable.
He's such a surety. So those are my two NHLers. One egregious, unforgivable.
And I can't believe Ray Bourque is on that list. I can't believe it for you. I put it on the list because I just thought it was respectable. It was low on my list.
No, there's nothing respectful about that. It was
All right, Brad, you're up.
Karl Malone's on my list.
He's on a lot of people's lists.
I took it. As well as things. Utah Jazz lifer, and then you go to the loaded Los Angeles Lakers.
Yeah, but he's not the only guy to do that. Not the only guy to do that.
No, but I mean, we're talking about a guy that, came into the league in '85.
Yeah.
And then and played there for all of his career. Couldn't win, couldn't get past Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
And then ended up there. And I remember when he got hurt, and I remember thinking, Steve's right. That's what you get.
Yeah, Karl Malone was always had this thing too, where he was kind of like Muhammad Ali's Joe Frazier. You know what I mean? He was Michael Jordan's Joe Frazier, and except you don't want to root for Karl Malone.
No.
He's such a fucking villain. Oh God!
You remember when the WCW used him to come in and wrestle against Dennis Rodman in a tag team match with Hollywood Hulk Hogan? And no, this is before your time. I don't know. All I know is that Karl Malone did wrestling for a hot minute.
Yeah,
and he was the face. He was the face.
Yeah. Well, he had to restore his reputation after that little 13-year-old incident. But that's neither here nor there. The fun part of this for me is that Karl Malone chased the ring and did not get it. So that's why he's on my list, because
wasn't it the Pistons that won that year?
Fuck him that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I wanted to have a bit of a list that didn't just have winners on it.
No, that's good.
Someone who didn't work for. The next, I'll go again. Since we're
okay, yeah. Snake draft
is also the NBA, and it's LeBron James.
Man, that was my number one. I don't know how anybody can sit there and say that LeBron James is the number one chaser of rings. That is his Game of Thrones name, Chaser of Rings.
Why are you yelling?
Yeah.
Because I hate LeBron James for that thing.
Why would you say, wait, hold on. You said that you don't know how anyone could say he was a ring chaser?
No.
You had that back.
How is he not number one on this list?
Okay.
How is he not the highest on this list? This guy is an egregious chaser of rings.
Yeah, I mean, sure, right? Maybe, except for he was doing it in his prime. For me, it's way worse to be like to take away a spot from a young guy just because you're trying to get a ring, a la Karl Malone. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. And
That's
again,
one thing.
guys want to play with the LeBron James. Like
Yeah.
Right.
he's the title.
Yeah.
He's the title. That's it.
he
So
just
it's
couldn't
not-
You look
draw.
at
He
Michael
couldn't
Jordan.
draw enough. He couldn't draw enough talent to Cleveland before he won. That's just the way it worked
Unbelievable.
out. One way.
Like,
or
I
the
don't
other.
understand that. I don't understand that because Jordan stayed in the same team.
Yeah, but we're
Win
on
6
different eras.
championships.
First of all, I mean, I don't feel
Yeah,
that way.
maybe,
about Kevin
maybe
Durant.
not.
I don't feel that way about Kevin Durant.
Yep.
Kevin Durant is the number 2 chaser of rings, but we'll get into that in a second. I'm still talking
Is he?
about. Yes, he is. We'll get into that in a second. I'm here stating that Michael Jordan is the greatest sinner for chasing a ring. The greatest.
Michael Jordan.
Oh, no. I'm sorry.
Okay,
LeBron
just
James.
mute-
Michael
listen,
Jordan's the
you
best.
Just mute your mic for a minute, go wipe the sweat off your face, and come back when you can make a sentence.
Michael Jordan's the best. LeBron James. See, I was mentioning the best, so all of a sudden I put Michael Jordan in there. LeBron James is the ultimate sinner for that. He is. Just think about it. It's like, the whole entire the announcement, 2010. I don't think anybody can never forget that.
About when I
And-
take my talents off this camera, I'll tell you that right now.
That guy is
Tom's gonna burn his
terrible.
Brad jersey in the driveway.
LeBron James is
LeBron
terrible.
James has made so much fucking money for everybody, and he's sent so many fucking kids to school. Guy
Yes.
is not banging anybody but his wife. He doesn't even have an Urban Meyer moment, which I'm not even sure how the fuck we didn't bring that up, because that was the biggest. I didn't do shit, but I'm saying sorry anyways. And a billionaire who probably does way worse than me on a nightly basis is telling me
My
I'm
favorite
embarrassed.
part of that
Crazy.
whole story is if you see the picture of him, he's wearing that Ohio State quarter zip. I was like,
he was in Columbus. That's what you do, right? Like
he just was
That's what
trying to
I-
remind me of who he was. He's like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm still in the fraternity.
he's in the restaurant that he half owns in
Yeah.
Columbus, and he's just like, remember me?
Yeah,
This one
that's
girl's
why,
like,
that's why
"Fuck
Shad.
yeah."
That's why Shad's so upset. You know what I mean? Just
Nobody knows.
just
who
think
Shad
about if
is.
LeBron was walking around L.A. in Cleveland Cavaliers gear. I mean, it'd just be an outrage.
Yeah, that's true. That's fair.
All right. So LeBron, I was expecting him to come much later in this, but okay, he's there. He's out there. Wonderful human being, but terrible for a franchise as far as we must have you. And look how it blew up in Miami's face.
Oh,
I'm
man.
sorry. That first season,
He's won.
they won
ring-
50%.
He's won
They won
rings in
50%.
He's won rings in 3 cities.
Yeah, did he not win a ring in Miami?
Yes. Yeah,
And
he
not-
did. He won 2.
Listen,
Okay,
this is how I
so-
feel about it, right? About ring
How did
chasers
blow up
are
in
guys
Miami's
that
face?
come in and don't add value, right? That's a ring chaser
Yeah.
to me. Is a guy that comes in and doesn't add value.
That's not true, man. Because ring chasers come in all shapes and sizes.
Oh my god.
All right. LeBron
Not a
James.
surprise that Sean's favorite sport is professional wrestling.
Listen here, jabroni, LeBron.
All right, Reed, you're up.
Again, this is a guy that I knew it wouldn't last. It was cool when he came here, but like Brad, this is one of my favorite ones because I wasn't the biggest fan of this guy, and it was cool seeing him come here and not win a championship, even though it's one of the most famous not winning a fucking championship situations ever, and that was Randy Moss in 2007 coming to the New England Patriots.
Yep. He was one of my fallbacks if you guys were doubling up on me.
That's one of the funniest. Just like, man, what does Randy Moss have to do?
Yeah.
He did everything. He did everything to win too. That's
like,
the thing,
it was-
right? Like
Played his
He
ass
broke
off.
records.
You've never seen him. He was peak Randy Moss maturity. I became a Randy Moss fan in 2007.
did they get
Huge Randy
Eli?
Moss fan. Yeah, you get Eli. Yeah,
They get Eli? Yeah.
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 It
Because
was
when
like-
you think about it, he broke the single season record for touchdown receptions, right? Like that season.
yeah, and that was Brady's high point as well. So
It was like watching a video game every week. It was like
Every
watching
game.
someone play like a professional Madden
rookie-
player
in
play an
rookie mode.
8-year-old.
yeah,
Yeah,
rookie
every
mode.
week. Just
Yeah.
it was fantastic to watch.
And to lose the Super Bowl by a field goal, 17-14. It's just
Right.
Yeah.
it was textbook. But like, you know, from '98 until that point, I didn't care much for Randy Moss. But seeing how he came in, and I knew it wouldn't last, but I didn't think it would work as well as it did with a Belichick and a Randy Moss. I could imagine those guys being in the same fucking room until that happened.
Yeah.
Right.
It was one of my favorite situations to see, and he went
Straight cash, homie. Straight cash.
Lost by 3 fucking points after the guy's been going all fucking season. Right? You think he just
the fact that they only put up 14 in the Super Bowl is crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. So it was just
I
one of my
knew-
favorite situations of all time.
I knew that was New York's championships. I knew that was their victory when you saw Eli Manning get away from people grabbing off his jersey, and he still managed to get that pass off, and then homeboy there coming up with the catch on his helmet.
David Tyree.
That's right, Tyree.
That man's name.
Sorry, you knew that this is
two E's, my friend. 2 E's.
this was a complete team of destiny at that point. All right, I guess this brings me back to me, doesn't it? Yeah. All right. So my pick here. I'm going to go with a basketball pick as well because I had one there. It's old CB4, Chris Bosh. Yeah. What a villain he became in Toronto after that, because he was just leading all the fans in Toronto down this primrose path. And then the announcement happens, and then we're just sitting there going, but he got a championship over there, I guess. CB4, Chris Bosh, absolutely a villain. And now that we have a championship, I guess we've decided to forgive him finally, but, you know, we're pretty forgiving like that in Canada. Nothing from you guys, because you guys, I guess Chris Bosh doesn't even register on your guys' Richter scale, eh?
Nope.
Couldn't give a shit.
I got 5 in my pocket, and I'm not even going to give one for that.
I remember that, Brad. What do you got? Chris Bosh, yeah. You really ate it this Saturday morning.
This might
Listen,
be,
do you remember when they thought that there was a top 3? That was the top 3 players in the NBA at that time. Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, and LeBron James.
That was the top 3 players on a team. It wasn't the top 3 players in the NBA.
Yeah, because Chris Bosh was definitely not top anything.
He was a good power forward.
He was a good power forward.
It wasn't better than Dirk. I mean,
yeah,
we saw that, right?
You know, I mean,
Kevin Durant was still playing at that point. James
Yeah.
Harden was playing at that point. I mean, it wasn't top 3 talent. I mean, you could argue LeBron and Dwayne Wade were probably top 5 at that point, but Chris Bosh wasn't a top 5 talent. So
no,
they definitely had the top 3, I think. But we saw that previously with, you know, an honorable mention, Kevin Garnett going to Boston.
Yeah. But, you know
that Kevin Garnett deal almost didn't happen in Boston. He almost went to the Lakers.
Yep.
That's crazy, eh?
That team would have been wild if he'd gone to the Lakers. I mean, they were great in Boston, right? But man,
they would have won. I think they would have went fucking straight for 5.
Yeah.
It'd have been insane. Absolutely insane.
So now we're going snake draft. This is my turn again. This is my last pick. This is it. I'm going for all the marbles here. All of it.
Are you going NBA?
Marion Hossa, NHL.
Oh, come on. Give him
Come on. Tell me that is not the most disgusting name you ever heard in the NHL. Oh, I'm going to go on to the Pittsburgh Penguins this season because I want a cup. Oh, we lost against Detroit. Oh, let me jump over to Detroit now because I want to win the cup with Detroit. Oh, we lost to Pittsburgh. Finally, the recipe gets right when he goes over to Chicago. I mean, come on, man.
But he again, he was one of those ones where he was such a fucking he was a big plus for those teams.
Absolutely,
he was playing top lines on all those teams. Absolutely. I mean, it's gross how he literally swang from Pittsburgh, which was, in hindsight, Pittsburgh looks gross, right? Because you're like, look at how fucking good that team was. But we didn't know how good Pittsburgh was back then, right? Yeah. But the real gross move is like, I lose, and then I'm going to go to the team that beat us. You know, it's like an 80s movie. Like, Brad beat me on the mountain, so he gets my girlfriend now. I'm just like, look at you know, Marion Hossa was the chick. You know, and it's just like that. That's a thing. But you know, I don't think everyone knew how good Chicago was going to be when Marion Hossa showed up. You know what I mean? Like, I agree he should be on this list, but I don't think it's I still think Ray Bork's way more egregious.
Marion Hossa literally, he was just a complete, he was whoring himself out. He's like, oh, you want my talents?
He's from the Czech Republic, man. They have a long history of whoring themselves out.
I'm
Sorry
telling you,
for all our Czech listeners, but you know what I'm talking about.
he's out there gouging eyes, and then jumping teams.
Come on.
It's
Optically, when you look back and you're just like, this motherfucker, right? But Pittsburgh, nobody knew Pittsburgh was that good when he was there. The jump to Detroit was really gross. Again, Chicago is kind of like, all right, I think he's just incredibly lucky.
Come on, man. What are you talking about? Patrick Kane and Jonathan Taves. Everybody knew after that first playoff thing.
He picked winners.
Yeah. It's like if you're a guy at his age, you're like, I'm gonna go somewhere. That's what you like. That's what I said at the top of this was they're all ring chasers. Everyone that plays professional anything should be a ring chaser.
Yeah.
I mean, there's certainly guys that obviously aren't, that don't give a shit. They're just happy with the paycheck and happy to be there. Everyone on the Bills.
I mean, you would think, Sean, that your fan base would be real comfortable being second place.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
4 years in a row. 4 years in a row.
I know.
Place. That's quite the thing there.
It's a curse.
Yeah,
I want to change it up just a little bit.
I don't think he deserves that much vitriol. I don't think his was that egregious. Because
Marion Hossa
was such an addition. Look at his numbers.
I thought you meant Sean because Sean wasn't a Bills fan.
Oh no, yeah, fuck. Sean's egregious.
All right, it's your pick, Reed. Go for it.
Wait, I think Brad had something he want to jump over to.
I was just going to say, I thought it was my pick, so I was just going to jump into it.
No, it was snake draft.
But then Reed went, and then you went. Now I'm mad at
how that
for a
works.
couple rounds.
Yeah, it was snake draft. Yeah, snake draft. Snake.
No, it's
snake.
Just two. All right, Brad, go ahead.
No.
I'll close. That's fine. Go ahead, Reed.
Oh shit! I lost my list. Oh, I was gonna say Tracy McGrady.
Oh, there you go. It's interesting.
You think T-Mac? Because I was thinking T-Mac, and then I was like, I don't know, man. He could have had a ring if he stayed in Toronto.
Yeah, but he thought he had a better shot in Orlando.
Yeah, in Orlando.
I think that's more not chasing a ring, but I'm a prolific player.
No, he was trying to chase a ring. He didn't think it was going to happen in Toronto.
Yeah?
I think so.
I don't know how anybody can say that when you have two of the greatest talents in the NBA at that time on the same team.
But you didn't have a big man, so that's
not going to win.
How you win championships, especially in that.
You can get an addition. You can get an addition. I mean, to me, it was like that was more. I want to be the superstar in a team as opposed to chasing a ring.
I disagree. You had to have an elite big man at some level, right? Look back at the teams that were winning at that point.
Yeah.
Yep.
Even the Pistons having Ben Wallace, who was just the defensive player of the year standard for 5 years.
Right.
The Lakers with Shaq. I mean, Celtics with Kevin Garnett. You had to have a quality big man to do that. And you were not going to have that in Toronto. And you weren't going to add one. Not with that ownership group. They weren't spending money.
Nope.
It was tied up in those two players. They weren't going to win anything.
And again, I don't want to make it seem like it was egregious. Was the teachers' pension? Did they own the Raptors back then?
No, none of that moment.
Wait,
there.
what?
No. Teachers' pension owned the Maple Leafs there, but then when MLSE became a whole entire conglomerate, that's a whole bunch of other people that ended up getting investing in that there. But yeah, it wasn't a teachers' pension at that moment. No,
Okay.
That was still pre that.
Yeah, because they had one of those vibes where it was either just like an I don't give a shit owner or something like the teacher's pension situation where it's like it's not that they don't give a shit, it's just they're more concerned with protecting.
Yeah, they were just capped out. Yeah.
Well, no, I think that they were more interested in keeping Vince Carter at that moment. That was their guy. That was the guy.
Yeah, you could say that, but Tracy McGrady was his cousin. So
they're blood.
Yeah. But if you have a look at it, if T-Mac were to stay in Toronto, there was a good possibility that could be a championship team in a couple of seasons. So I don't know.
And a couple of seasons versus one just going right in and being a championship team.
Yeah.
You're just making the point.
T Mac was such a talent that it's kind of hard to sit there. Any team he spends enough time on, you're going to look at it and be like, yeah, he's probably going to win one. For a guy that never won one, when all was said and done, it's still mind blowing to see, right? Him and AI are two of the craziest.
Yeah.
How the fuck
Tracy McGrady getting hurt feels to me a lot like Grant Hill getting hurt. It just feels like a wasted opportunity for greatness.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Not that they had anything to do with it, but that was, I ran across some Grant Hill highlights earlier this week from like his first 2 years in the league. Dude, I forgot how badly Grant Hill used to just bang on people. My goodness. Grant Hill was just giving it to fools.
Yeah.
So I have a since I do have one more honorable mention, but Brad, I just want to double check with you. Is your guy a NBA, MLB? What sport are we talking about?
It's NFL, and if you get it, I would be surprised.
Perfect. I don't have NFL as my honorable mention, and that's going to be Mr. Charlie Hustle, Pete Rose, 1980.
Yeah,
guy already had fucking 2 or 3 titles at that point. He's 38 years old. And he's just like, yeah, I'm gonna go get another one. It's one of the it's I'm bookending this with 2 of the most egregious old guy in sport. You've already got enough success in your life. He had 2 championships and he decided to go try to chase another one. So
yeah, and added no value in doing so.
Added 0 value. Actually, he was a negative overall.
Yeah.
It wasn't like it was a good veteran guy to have in the room. No, he was trying to fuck everyone's wife. Obviously gambling on games, all that good stuff. I still think he belongs in the Hall of Fame. Hashtag.
Yeah. Ty Cobb's in the Hall of Fame, so why not Pete Rose? Yeah.
Well, no, Ty Cobb was a different time. Come on.
Yeah. Still.
That's before they
All right.
Jesus.
Go for it.
So that's mine. Let's hear it, Brad.
Deion Sanders.
I have that as a pick. I thought for sure you would never pick him. I thought for sure that Deion Sanders was going to be off your list altogether.
Nope,
I'm actually surprised.
That switch from the 49ers to the Cowboys was 100% about getting a ring. And it was in division, not even in conference, right? It was in division.
It's pretty fucking gross.
And I love Deion. Deion's one of my favorite players of all time. Like, I still rock with Deion Sanders to this day. I think he's a fantastic coach. I think he's a great motivator and speaker and all those things.
But these days, as the kids would say today, the disrespect.
Yes.
The disrespect.
The blatant disrespect.
That would be like Brady going to fucking Miami.
Yeah.
It'd just be like, ugh.
Yeah. Like, what, really? And then winning, right? Like,
yeah. I think Miami's not far off from winning a championship. With a Tom Brady there, you know what I mean? So I think it would be just as gross. But yeah, Deion Sanders.
Man.
That's
the Pats fan base would have to be on watch.
it would be terrible. I would just move to Miami. Fuck it.
Yeah.
They're like, well, that's all I need. I'm not moving to Tampa, but I move to Miami. Do coke.
You'd be like that guy that has the half Brady Pats jersey and half Tampa Bay jersey.
That was great.
That should be its own fucking episode. There's only one person that's allowed to do the half jersey thing, and that's Mama McCourty. Okay, well, the only one that's allowed to do that.
I appreciate the Curry family for when they rolled it, like when their kids were playing. One wore one and one wore the other. That's what the parents should do. This joining of the jersey thing is terrible. Like, I agree. We'll do an episode on it. It's so gross.
Mama McCourty is a single woman though, so
well, and
she's on double duty, I think. But get an uncle or something, you know what I mean? Like,
or
whatever.
Bring a friend.
She only did it when they were playing each other.
Yeah.
If she was just at a Titans game and
which is fair.
Was there, then she would just wear that jersey.
Yeah. I have less vitriol against the parents that do it, but just a regular old fan that did it, and especially when it's the
people
same
that have
player.
People have never met Tom Brady are wearing that shit. I'm just like, you whore. Oh.
Listen, I hope that it was a rough ride for him out of the stadium. That's all I want to say about it.
It probably wasn't. They probably cried, and some dude named Sully fucking carried him on his shoulders.
They're crying and hugging each other on the way out.
Like, you did it, Tom. You did. You came back.
I think I've said it before here. Like, the worst beating I've ever seen in my entire life was that guy wearing the Sean Alexander jersey and the Pittsburgh Steelers hat. Like, that guy got it. Like,
oh my gosh.
Frankly,
Man.
how the fuck is Tom Brady not on this list? Because he was on my list initially. I thought it'd be 2 on the nose.
Yeah, it was too
No,
obvious.
man. That
Too
guy
obvious.
got 6 championships in New England. I didn't want to keep him on there.
That's why he's as gross as Pete Rose.
Yep.
Like,
Did
you
you
already
guys see
have
that?
championships.
There was an article this week that came out that's speculating now that Tom Brady and Bill Belichick were having a last man standing war. Like, who would be the last one to leave or, to be there? And that,
They have a dead pool, a death pool.
yeah. And then Tom felt like Bill was going to run him in the ground and then cut him when he had nothing left. So he left while he could go impress somebody else.
Hey, man, I don't disagree with him, and I'm glad he beat Bill Belichick. And now I'm wondering to myself, what's Bill Belichick going to do? Is quarterback ain't that bad?
Why?
Oh, man.
What do you mean, why?
Why do you give a shit? Bill Belichick and Tom Brady are fucking friends.
Listen, I'm going to tell you this right now.
Yeah.
Don't tell anybody else this. Okay. I'm just telling you guys in confidence. But I really like Bill Belichick right now.
What's happening with Cam Newton, though? Is he going over to the Seahawks? Like, what's going on with him?
No, we'll trade.
Is he
for
a
Nick
poison
Foles.
pill?
We would trade for Nick Foles before we brought Cam Newton in.
Cam Newton would be such a great fucking circus to distract from the whole thing. And that's what Cam Newton did when Tom Brady left. Cam Newton gave everyone forgot Tom Brady being in Tampa Bay except when he won that championship. But everyone got so over Tom Brady not being there because it was just like, look at this fucking asshole. This is why Boston's still the most racist city in the fucking country. It's just like no matter what Cam Newton did, they were just like, he's a piece of shit. Look at him. And it's like the Italian leather shoes, the Run DMC hat.
Yeah,
They're
what
getting
is it?
sacked 5 times because our whole entire O-line fucking decided to opt. No one's going to talk about all the starters that decided not to play football due to COVID. And it somehow Cam's the biggest piece of shit on the fucking planet.
Yeah.
Seriously?
That's how you know that Belichick's a hard coach because they were like, hey, we'll pay your full salary if you say you're scared. And they're like, yeah, we're scared. We don't want to.
Yeah.
We're nervous.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, fuck.
that's crazy.
Cam Newton did like one of the most brave things was going to fucking, a Boston suburb to play football as a starting quarterback after Tom Brady.
Yeah.
He's the exact opposite of Tom
Especially
Brady.
for old Josh McDaniels, who probably isn't very talented,
Oh,
to be honest with you, right?
no.
I mean,
He had the
can't
benefit
judge
of being
the boy.
between Tom Brady and fucking Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
No one was talking
Yeah.
about Josh fucking McDaniels.
Well, look at what he went to go do on his own.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Yeah.
Denver. Oh, it was also hard to watch.
Yeah.
And then he came crawling back. And he thought about going for that. Remember that Colts job scenario?
Yep.
And then he was just like, nah, I got a real good thing here. Tom Brady and Bill, I'm good. No one even knows who the fuck I am.
Yep. I have no stress.
No stress.
Oh my
He's like, I
gosh.
got paid a boatload of money. I don't have to give a fuck. I get to play Madden for a living.
Before we close off, I want to touch quickly on the NFL. I think we could probably all agree, and this Sean's going to get real puffed over this, but the game of the week is Buffalo at Kansas City, right? Can we all agree?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. That's the game of the week for sure. I did want to say, so yeah,
It
I'm looking
really
for
is
time-
because the schedule is so soft. I'll just tell
Yeah.
you that it's the game of the week.
Yeah, I'm looking to see what these.
Oh,
other
I don't
games-
know about that.
Listen, I'll tell you this. Here, listen, I'm just don't say anything. I'm just going to read the schedule as is. Okay.
Yeah,
The
you're right,
Jets-
Brad.
It's the Jets versus the Falcons. It's Green Bay at Cincinnati. It's Detroit
Yeah.
at Minnesota, Denver at Pittsburgh, Miami at Tampa, the Saints at the the football team, the Eagles at Carolina, Tennessee, Jacksonville, New England at Houston, Chicago at Vegas, Cleveland and the Chargers, the Giants and Cowboys, San Francisco, the Cardinals.
You got the Giants and Cowboys playing, and that's not the number one game of the week.
No, that's not
Crazy.
the number one game of the week.
Listen,
no.
Dak
It is. I
Prescott-
agree. It isn't. It isn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dak Prescott's going to
What a-
cry
what a
during the
time to be
anthem
alive.
again because he's going to
Listen, Browns
PTSD from the
Chargers
Giants killed
has
us.
me stoked. That one has me stoked as well because I mean, 2 young quarterbacks. Well, I guess is he even young anymore? There, Baker Mayfield.
Baker
I don't
Mayfield.
know.
Yes, he's still young.
He hasn't
Yeah.
even signed his second contract yet, has he?
Yeah. He
So-
still has a 2 in his fucking age. So
Yeah.
he's fine.
So those two going at it, that's great. And the Niners and the Cardinals isn't what's his face getting his first start there? Trey Lance.
But that's not going to be a good game. Trey Lance. I mean, if you watched, I watched him last week, and he's going to be a good quarterback. There's really little doubt about that in my mind. But he's not one right now.
No.
And
He-
Broncos
he'll be-
Steelers.
he'll be fun
Benefit
to
from
watch.
sitting. Yeah, he
Broncos
was sitting.
Steelers isn't even worth bringing up.
Yeah,
I
that's what I'm
guess.
saying. It's Buffalo, Kansas City by default, and maybe
Yeah.
it's Cleveland and the Chargers. The Indianapolis, Baltimore Monday night's a terrible game.
Yeah, my
It-
favorite game of the week is going to be Eagles and Carolina.
Yeah.
That's going to be my favorite game of the week.
Yeah.
Just because I love watching Jalen Hurts and Smith there connect.
Yep.
I love seeing Zach Ertz continue to be irrelevant. And
Yeah.
I love.
I mean,
I said it for years as a Pats fan. I'm like, Sam Darnold is a fucking talented kid.
Yep.
He needs
He
to go
is.
somewhere where he can fucking give it,
Yep.
spread his wings a bit.
Yes.
It
And
is
look at him
fun.
down in Carolina. It's
Yeah,
great
it's
to watch.
fun. It's
And
fun
Christian
watching them
McCaffrey's
serve.
back.
Yeah,
Right.
I love this. I love this season that it's a little bit topsy turvy still, right? There's some stuff that's going on that it feels good. It feels like we're back in the thing. Anyway,
A lot of crazy shit in the air.
Yeah.
It's a lot
All
of
right.
fun. That's the beauty of the season. It's not a sure thing of. I mean, Tom
we're
Brady.
not watching. We're not watching also Rans just to see so we can watch the same championship game. It really feels like for the first time there's a shot for everyone. Not everyone, but
Yeah,
more than
Tampa
half the
Bay's
league
probably
still
going to win
got a
another
shot.
one, but yeah, Cleveland's just a couple of dial turns away from getting their shit together, right? Like,
Yeah.
the Raiders looked weirdly fucking sufficient for somehow. You know what I
I
mean?
know,
Like they're winning
I
fucking
know.
football games.
Derek Carr is balling.
It's fucking weird.
Yeah.
Fucking weird.
And Chargers, I mean, Justin Herbert looks great. No sophomore jinx there,
Yeah, and then you got
All
Austin
right.
Eckler back there who's balling out like a fucking real big
Yeah.
boy RB1.
Yeah, it's only
talent.
about. Listen, we're 2 weeks away from Eckler having a knee sprain that holds him out for 4 weeks. Let's not kid ourselves.
I got some bench spots dedicated that completely agree with that.
Yeah.
So
All right. So to close us out, 1-on-1 is going to be how
Deontay
Canadian are you?
Wilder, Tyson Fury 3. Oh, we're gonna do this. Okay.
Yeah, we're going to do this. We're going to do this real quick here.
You want to hear my top 3 of why I don't give a fuck about this this Deontay Wilder Tyson Fury 3 fight? It mostly has to do with a draw that should have been a draw, and then
Yep.
Fury Fury's gonna win 3 fights, probably.
You know what I do
Back to
enjoy
your
though
show.
is that as manufactured as their trash talk may be, there's also some real hate in it.
Oh yeah, of course. Familiarity breeds
the
contempt.
videos
Yeah.
and the hollering and like all that show is top shelf. So
You've got
Yeah.
a fucking gypsy. We're not supposed to say gypsy. Oh no, he says gypsy. So yeah, you got a gypsy and a gigantic black dude from Alabama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They both have bloody histories full of not being treated well by anybody.
Yeah.
And you stick them in that's why it just
Oh
felt
man,
so great.
I don't know if you guys saw it, but last night there was an altercation in the back hallway, and they're both yelling about each other's mamas. And Tyson Fury's brother starts screaming, right? And some lady, she must be like the PR rep for Deontay, was walking down the hallway, and she was like, "Just get in your room, Tyson. Just get in your room." This little blonde lady. And she walks in. So he walks into the room, and he's flipping the bird to Deontay, who's walking away down the hall. And then Tyson Fury's brother starts screaming at him, about how he's gonna rip his face off. And he's like, "I don't play this ring stuff like my brother does. Like, I'll fight you right now and kill you." And he's got like a Reed Homer haircut. And
Yeah.
that blonde lady looks at me and goes, "Shut your mouth and cut your hair."
Oh Jesus!
I was like, man, that lady gives no.
Harsh.
Hey, you want to talk about bravery with mental health? Fury was doing that a long time ago, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So, good on him. Team
True
Fury all the
enough.
way here.
Before we get into this CFL question, the more important question is, Reed, how long till we can see you in cornrows?
I could do cornrows right now.
I know you guys
It's
you got the look.
last time I did cornrows, I was 10 years old.
Listen, I'm just hoping that
Oh.
before you cut that beautiful mane off, if that day ever comes, that
I will
we-
get it.
we get a rode up.
I will get
spot.
rode up. Yeah.
And you got to let us know so we can have you on the show then for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna get the beads too and everything like that. Full AI experience.
All right. Here it is. How Canadian are you? So, this is a question about CFL. Come on. No. Play with me. All right. so
Also
it's-
gross.
So, CFL.
Do you know your camera's still on, Sean? Or?
Yeah. CFL rules and standards. Here we go. All right. So, you guys, hey, 10 points for every question. All right.
How many
You
questions
get
are
right.
there?
I got 5. All right. So, first question. What is the national anthem?
Wait. What do you win?
My respect.
None of this is worth it. How Canadian are you?
Sean's eyebrows in that magical box he has in that corner. He's gonna melt to.
That's an urn. That's where his eyebrows.
Get Sean's eyebrow urn.
All right. So, first question. How many national anthems are played at a CFL game? Oh, Reed, you smacked it. Yes, go ahead.
I'm gonna have to go with 2, Chuck.
2 national anthems? What are you talking about? Is that the CFL?
Yeah.
It's one. It's one.
No,
The Canadian national
I
anthem.
thought you guys had two.
There's
No.
200. There's two. Well, there's two versions. There's two choruses. That's what they. There's a
Yeah,
verse,
they had
a
the
chorus,
French and
another verse.
the English one.
Yeah. Then there's a horn solo.
All right.
in the middle.
If you want to go with French and English, I'll give you that. But there's only one national anthem
Kobe.
played.
But that's two. That's the words aren't
That's-
even the same. They don't mean the same.
Oh
thing.
my gosh.
It's
All
two
right.
different songs.
Question number 2.
Did I get that point?
I'm giving it to you honorably. So 10 points to read.
I
All
think
right.
he is right. I mean, if you can argue with the
It's not
moderator,
right,
you
but
would- it is. But you
it's
agree.
it's
You
technical. It's technical. It's
No,
technical.
it's not.
I give it
Listen, I was going to
technically.
say. I was going to say there's 207 free sovereign nations in the world. So they probably play all 207 of them to not offend anybody.
All right. How many times did the Toronto Argonauts play against the Pittsburgh Steelers?
0.
That's your answer?
Yep.
Reed?
I'm gonna go with none.
Okay, you're both wrong. Toronto Argonauts played the Pittsburgh Steelers in 1960 at CNE Stadium, and Pittsburgh won.
Okay.
Was it
Real quick,
professionally or was it?
Yeah.
Was it
a
in, like?
scrimmage?
Yeah.
No, so at the end, what was happening
Okay.
from every now and then, the top NFL team and the top CFL team would play all the way up
So
until
every 5 years they tried it for. 2
yeah, pretty
consecutive
much. I mean,
years. They're like
41,
this-
they had like 3 of them.
What's the
and then
what was the
50,
score? What was
51.
the score of the game? What was the score of the game?
Of which one?
Of the
The
game
Steelers
you're referring to?
Steelers against the Argos?
The-
Yeah, it was
the one-
43. Yeah, 43 points for the Steelers and 16 for the Toronto
Okay.
Argonauts.
Okay. The last
they
time that
took it
game
easy on
was
them.
that.
All right.
Hey
This
guys,
is a good one.
This
This
is
is-
a great thing. We've got the 2 best teams from each division, and they're just going to play each other, and it's going to be great. It's going to be the best football anyone's ever seen. Everyone's
right.
asleep by the second quarter.
This is question number 3. We'll have 2 more. Who was the first American team to win the Grey Cup?
First American team? What do you mean, like the
Yes.
United States of America?
That's right.
What?
The British Columbia Knights.
No, because they're Canadian.
No, I disagree. I don't know if you've been to BC lately, but that's not true.
Reed? Even if you just give me a
Uh,
city.
All right, Houston.
Wrong. Okay. The Baltimore Stallions are the first American team to win the Grey Cup in 1995.
The
So from
Houston
93.
Texans. Is the answer the Houston Texans?
I was saying the Oilers, but Texans, Oilers, something.
All right. Fourth
It was
question.
the Buffalo Bills.
No,
Wait,
they-
they don't have any championships. That's right.
All right. Fourth question. We're almost done.
All right.
Thank God.
Fourth question. All right. Why are you shaking your head, Brad?
I can't believe
You're
we're doing
killing
this.
me.
I
You're
can't
killing
believe-
me.
I agreed to one question. And it took 5.
All right. What constitutes as a rouge?
Oh man, you know what? You told me this and I forgot.
A ruse?
A rouge.
Are you saying ruse? Like someone pulled the wool over
Rouge.
your eyes?
Les
Yeah.
rouges.
Oh,
Like
watch
the
out for
color
the
red
rouge.
in French.
Like Moulin Rouge.
Oh, Moulin Rouge. What
Yeah.
constitutes it? Like how do
Yeah.
you make red?
How do you get a
It's
rouge?
velvet. Is velvet definitely involved?
Yeah, do you mix in some like spider webs?
Yeah, I think that it's the team. It's the team that
Seal fat.
scores while the Christina Aguilera song is playing. I think that's how you get the rouge. Is that right?
No,
I'm gonna give you
rouge
10
is-
points, Brad.
A rouge is butter, and then you add a little flour to it.
Oh,
That's how you make gravies.
yeah.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
I'm giving you.
You got a rouge
Brad-
and a mirepoix and some chicken. You got chicken pot pie.
Yeah.
I'm giving Brad a 10 points there just for that answer. I'm going to give
What
you
the fuck
Reed.
is a rouge? Rouge is red, right?
I'm going to tell you right now. So a rouge is a single point in the CFL. So basically, if you were to
Is
kick,
it a PAT?
no, it's not a PAT. So
All
if
right,
you were
sorry,
to kick,
sounds stupid.
if you were to kick
I'm already
punt your
bored.
ball away, and your ball, or even if off the kickoff you punt the ball, and the ball sails outside of the end zone, that's a point. If you punt it and it's in the end zone,
You participation trophy assholes. You just giving points away for shit like that?
This
Yeah,
is the
because you
most
have to
little
play the
brother
ball.
game I've ever heard
There's
in
no
my entire
safety.
life.
You have to run the ball out. You can't just kneel down there and then all of a sudden, here you go. I'm at
This
the
is the most
35-yard
little
line.
brother game in the world. Okay, here to make it fair, we get a running head start to the line of scrimmage, and the field's not wide enough. We need to make the field has to be longer. And you know what else? I get a point for kicking the ball out of bounds.
Mom said so. Mom said we can't play unless this is the way it is.
Do you want me to go inside and tell mom you're not going to be fair and let me play?
All right. Last question. How
I
many
got the
downs
fucking
are
questions?
how many downs are in the CFL?
The whole thing's a downer.
Yes.
The whole fucking thing is a downer. I'm bummed.
One. The answer is one. One per
All-
game.
One big down.
One big down.
Ugh.
No wonder you
It's
guys
three.
drink. My
It's 3
God.
downs. Oh,
Well,
well,
have 3
guys-
downs.
Yeah.
yeah, 3 downs.
Because again,
Ugh.
4 would be too competitive, Reed.
Ugh.
I'm sorry. It ends up a tie. And
So
honestly,
we each get an eyebrow. Is that what you're saying?
We both lost.
oh my gosh.
The whole thing
Oh.
feels like a setup.
John, next time, if I ask you where the fuck your eyebrows are, just be like, oh, I donated them to charity. There's a charity for people for eyebrows, and I donated. Just use that answer from now on.
That's fine.
I misunderstood the locks for love.
He's like, well, I'm not going to get rid of this or this. Eyebrows.
How
would be
glorious
all
my
like that.
eyebrows were. I thought someone could use them.
Oh.
Like, bro,
Surely one of the people that would need locks for love needs to have a fade. They've got to be.
there's some lady with
God.
alopecia right now crushing it with those brows.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Just
Oh
murdering
my
it.
god.
Majestic caterpillars.
I just had tremendous fun here today.
There's
a
some 8-year-old
great
walking
episode.
around looking like Eugene fucking Levy with Sean's eyebrows. Sean, blink if your eyebrows are being held hostage and you were told not to contact the authorities. Just blink.
He can't
Oh,
raise
my
your
gosh.
sweat's gonna run to his eyes. The more he does that, the more the sweat drips in his eyes. It doesn't have any natural ability to stop it.
Can we get Sean a fucking GBS sweatband? Because he really fucking
we should make one.
he doesn't have the God's sweatband anymore of eyebrows.
Yep.
I don't know what you need to do with the lighting situation over there. You have one of those ring lights. It might be too close.
Yeah, it's on there right
Your
now.
eyebrow.
That's why he's so
It singed
squinty.
him off.
Yeah.
And singed them off. Oh my gosh, guys! This is thoroughly enjoyable. We're gonna have you on again for hockey rules when we're gonna do hockey rules there. I think you'll do a
Yeah,
lot
he's
better than that.
he's not gonna make fun of hockey rules. That's not any fun.
I fucking hate hockey rules ever since the trapezoid.
There you go. See.
Do a lot of
Okay,
problems.
kids. With that, be back next time. Until then, be good at it.
Right?
Adios.
You've listened to the podcast, but now it's time to visit us in our virtual sports bar. Get all of our info at guysbeersports.com, where you can find all the ways to connect with us. Watch for live conversations with Brad and Sean that happen throughout the week, and join in with your favorite local beer. You can share your thoughts in the conversation comments with your own uploaded videos, or even join us as a guest live commentator. The GBS Virtual Sports Bar is open for business. Come on in, boys and girls.